I spent a total of 18 years in Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand, and met Gabrielle, my wife, in Bangkok. We got married there, went into business, and had our 2 children, Marco being the first of the 2. I was in the Olympics in 1960, swam on a couple of relays, was a co-captain of the team, and a couple of gold medals, yeah. We had been following the fire, which had been going on for about a month. Marco and I would go out and take a look at it from different vantage points. He's always interested in a phenomenon like this, and everybody was concerned about the hillside because the brush, the growth had been burned off. Marco was particularly concerned and actually was prescient in his fear of what might happen. It did happen. I went to bed around 11:30 or so that night, and I'm hard of hearing and wear hearing aids, so I take them off and put them on my dresser when I go to bed. So I didn't hear what was going on, the very, very heavy rain, which woke up a lot of people. And I was not aware of any of that happening. I just know that I was awakened by Gabrielle, who was hitting me when I was asleep. She was saying, "Get up, get up." And I had no idea what was going on. So I got out of bed and I actually stepped into a foot of mud right in my bedroom and right out of the bed. So that was the beginning of a bad experience, and a big piece of a cinder block wall came from a couple of blocks up the street and broke through our kitchen door and ended up right in the middle of the kitchen floor, and that's what let the mud in. The 1 foot grew to be about 2 feet deep by the time I got out of the bedroom. It was a frightening experience. Gabrielle and Marco and I stood between the kitchen and the master bedroom next to this door here, which Marco had opened, luckily, because the mud came into the house and then went out that door. But we were standing there talking about how to save our own lives, whether we should go up on the hill behind the house. But Marco checked out the backyard and said it's a sea of mud. There was no way we could get to the hill. We thought about going on the roof, but we couldn't find a ladder. And I spent 2.5 years in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, and I was never as afraid of dying or fearful I was close to dying as that night standing in my house in the mud. It was a very frightening experience. And while we were trying to figure out how to save ourselves, Marco saw the truck and said, "Let's go." He signaled to the truck, and the truck stopped and took us aboard and took us to my office, Marco and my office around the corner. We were just very fortunate to be helped out rescued by the fire department. There were a lot of houses damaged or destroyed. There were a couple dozen people died. It was a major, major catastrophic event for a small community. I've been a realtor here in Santa Barbara since 1980, when we moved here from Bangkok, and Marco got his license in 2001 and has been my partner ever since.
These years we've been able to spend together through the good markets and the bad markets are priceless time that most people aren't lucky enough to enjoy.
True, it's special.